Hello and welcome to NTA Nationwide. I am Miriam Akbata. The federal government has described the flood menace in Anambra State as a national disaster that requires urgent attention. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo announced this when he visited victims of the coastal communities affected by flood in Umuze, Anambra West Local Government area. Ndem Kalu has details.
Residents of the affected communities are said to be counting their losses. Vice President, who visited the affected communities, expressed sympathy with the people while declaring the situation as a national disaster. He said the federal government will urgently support the victims by providing them with relief materials, as he commended the Anambra State government for its prompt response to the challenge.
On behalf of the President, President Muhammad Buhari, we commiserate with all of those who have lost their livelihoods, who have lost property, farmlands in particular. But we're also here to assess the damage and see what can be done to help those of you who have lost their assets, people who have lost farmlands and all of that.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano said the state government has already taken proactive measures to mitigate the flood disaster, while urging residents of the communities to relocate to a safer area, adding that the state government alone cannot tackle the challenge. In a vote of thanks, the traditional ruler of Aguleri, Igwe Christopher Idigo, solicited a permanent solution to the flood menace in Anambra State. From Anambra West Local Government area, Ndem Kalu, NTA News.
Still on flooding, the people of Oyo Local Government of Jigawa State are counting losses following floods that have overtaken the area and claimed 3 lives. Correspondent Ibrahim Sani has more on the story.
A distance of more than 100 kilometers from Dutse, the Jigawa State capital, Oyo has 198 square kilometers with a population of more than 150,000 people. Its location along the River Hadeja Valley makes it prone to annual flooding, especially when Tegadam in Kano State overflows its bank. This is the situation now, as the entire town has been flooded, seeking the residents to seek refuge at a nearby construction site.
We need the government to embark on specifically dredging of these rivers, river courses, because they have silted off. Once the river is silted off, definitely it will overflow.
Meanwhile, the state government has sent in a delegation for immediate assessment of the situation.
We are now giving them a temporary place to accommodate them before we try to see how we can evacuate that water from that town.
14 out of the 27 local government areas of Jigawa State have been affected by the flood. From Dutse, Ibrahim Sani, NTA News.
More than 100 ecological sites in various parts of the country are currently under reclamation and construction to address the gully erosion problem in the country. The Deputy Chairman, Senate Committee on Ecological and Climate Change, Senator Benjamin Nwajumogu, stated this while inaugurating the soil erosion and flood control projects in Esako East and Central Local Government of Edo State. David Ire reports.
Projects are the reclaimed gully erosion site in Ewea and Otokwe of Agenebode, as well as the reclamation and construction of drainage system along the Obe Hill axis of the Fuga-Agenebode Road. Senator Nwajumogu said the federal government is committed to addressing all the ecological problems which have made life unbearable for people across the country.
I believe they've done a good job. I believe that the issues of erosion here has been foreclosed for now. I'm here to say thank you, Mr. President, for this job. Thank you, Senator Alemekena, for attracting this project. And thank you for the government of Edo State for ensuring that this project was completed and on time.
Edo State government and the Ecological Fund Office want residents to be more involved in the campaign against environmental degradation, which is largely responsible for the ecological problems.
We need to start looking at our forestation ideas. We need to start thinking of how we're going to start planting more trees, planting flowers, planting grasses, because this helps.
I should commend the contractor, at the same time commend the Ecological Office, thank the President.
The sites were formally handed over to the communities for maintenance. In Agenebode, David Ire, NTA News.
More succor has reached the internally displaced persons at the Central Primary School, Zungeru, as the Nigerian Air Force flagged off medical outreach at the camp. The free medical service is being carried out by the 351 Base Service Group, Mina. Mukhtar Abubakar Wowo reports.
Outreach by the 351 Base Service Group, Mina, is part of the civil-military cooperation duties to the flood victims at Central Primary School Zungeru in Wishishi local government area of Niger State. The exercise, which is aimed at alleviating the suffering of the flood victims, is providing free general medical consultations, basic laboratory screening and treatment, free eye surgery and medical glasses, free medical counseling services, as well as other medical services that is needed by the internally displaced persons. Commander 351 Base Service Group, Mina, Group Captain Suleiman Kabiru Usman, while addressing the flood victims, hinted that the free medical outreach, which may be extended to some members of the host community, target 2,000 people. Group Captain Kabiru Usman added that the Air Force is collaborating with the General Hospital Wushishi for major surgery.
We are here with our team and the team from Medical Center, Nigerian Air Force Base, Mina. The events are taking place simultaneously.
Some of the beneficiaries, full of happiness, commended the Air Force for the gesture. The free medical outreach is expected to last 5 days. In Zungeru, Mukhtar Abubakar, NTA News.
This is NTA Nationwide. We now take you to our Lagos studio for stories making rounds in that zone. Over now to you, Jennifer. How you doing?
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you for joining us in Lagos. The Federal Ministry of Works has given a one-week ultimatum to all illegal occupants under the federal bridges across Lagos to vacate the spaces. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Adedamola Kuti, sounded the warning when he led officials of the ministry and law enforcement officers for an on-the-spot assessment of the state of the bridges. Then Rotnina Musa has the details.
The erection of illegal makeshift structures under some bridges in Lagos, which mostly serve as hideouts for miscreants and suspected criminals, has become a source of worry for those living in the affected areas. To eradicate this anomaly, officials of the Federal Ministry of Works embarked on the assessment of the commercial and domestic goings-on under the bridges. The Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State, Adedamola Kuti, in company of officials of the ministry and that of the Lagos Task Force, inspected some sections of Kata Bridge, Eko Bridge, Ido Bridge, and Ijora Bridge. He said that the construction of such illegal structures under the bridges is an abuse on infrastructure and the integrity of bridges.
When everybody is supposed to be at work, people are there, and all sorts of tools, dangerous tools were found by the police. And we have a lot of them all over Lagos. This is a very, very serious abuse that will not be tolerated.
Some of the inhabitants who cited the officials took to their heels. Others who weren't fast enough were apprehended and their structures demolished. There were illegal structures also under the other bridges. The Federal Controller of Works pointed out that nobody has been given approval to construct any structure under the bridge, and as such, the ministry has ordered that a week after the 24th of September 2018, demolition exercise will commence. In Lagos, Nerut Dina Musa, NTA News.
Now, the United Nations projects that Nigeria could become the third most populous nation in the world by 2050. Now, this could have its implication, which is why the federal government has been promoting family planning measures. In this report, Joy Ken Abakoya examines how Nigerians have been responding to government's efforts to keep the population within manageable proportions.
Wamimo Taiwo is a housewife whose husband is a low-income earner. Life for her family, she says, is a struggle. Putting food on the family's table on a daily basis is hard, and some days 3 square meals only exist in their imagination. In spite of this, however, the mother of 4 says she doesn't mind having more children as they're gifts from God. There are many others like Wemimo who pay little or no attention to birth control measures on the basis of cultural and religious beliefs or perceived side effects.
I have 6 children now. So when I discussed with my husband, he did not reply me very well, and I cannot go on my own and do it.
I will not want my wife to do family planning because of the disadvantage of family planning.
Experts blame the low acceptance of family planning on misconception about the use of contraceptives and lack of knowledge on the various options.
Before a couple is advised on this is the best family planning method or these are the best 2 or 3 that you can consider, they would have looked at the individual family situation, the age of the woman.
They need the support of implementing partners around and then developers such as the NGOs and then other CSOs.
Nigeria at the moment is the 7th most populous country in the world, but the UN in its World Population Prospects projects that if no control is instituted, the country could become the 3rd most populous by the year 2050. Observers say to ensure wider acceptance and reduce population growth through family planning, traditional and religious bodies, as well as society influencers, must be involved in advocacy for birth control. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakoya, NTA News.
Thank you, Joy. Now, those are the stories from Lagos. Others are. Time to join Charles in Makurdi.
Jennifer, and a warm welcome to Makurdi. The prediction of impending flood disaster by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency and other agencies of government seems to have come to the state as part of Wadata area and some parts of the state capital have been submerged by flood. Correspondent Odemosis Ajawu reports that many residents have relocated, taking refuge with relations and friends, while others are said to be confused on what to do.
The rise in the water level of the river Benue that has continued over the week has become a real threat to residents of Makurdi, especially those living around the riverbanks and other flood-prone areas. This sudden rise in the water level has sacked most residents of Lese Street, Wadata, submerging residential buildings, roads and schools, rendering many homeless.
Look around, the water has gone everywhere in Yongu. So people are very scared. They are desperate. They have no any helping hand, so they are calling on government now to urgently do something about it. Even the water come out tonight tomorrow, we don't have where to take our load to go because we don't have anywhere to go and rest.
I mean to look for a public place like NKC or the primary school so that the Wadata people that they are affected with the flood is affected by them, they should run to the international market. For them, it's too far.
The victims have resorted to the use of canoes and speedboats to convey some of their personal belongings to dry land. In Makurdi, this is Ajao, NTA News.
And on politics, close to 500 have so far picked nomination forms for various elected positions across 4 political parties in Benue State. This is preparatory to the 2018 party primaries and the subsequent 2019 general elections. Correspondent reports that PDP has 285 and APC 171. As the 2019 general elections draw closer, the 91 political parties in the country have continued to strategize on how to clinch various tickets for available political offices. In Benue State, for instance, 4 of the 43 political parties that register their presence in the state have sold nearly 500 nomination forms to those vying for various offices. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has 1 presidential aspirant, 7 gubernatorial aspirants, 4 for Senate, over 70 for House of Representatives, and more than 200 for the State Assembly. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has 0 for presidency, 5 governorship aspirants, 5 for Senate, and 25 for House of Representatives, and 136 for House of Assembly. The Labour Party has 1 gubernatorial aspirant, 1 senatorial hopeful, 4 for House of Representatives, and 10 for the State Assembly. Advanced Democratic Congress has 1 senatorial aspirant, 3 for House of Representatives, and 4 for the State Assembly.
We have had to deal with a very large number of aspirants coming in to seek and vie for the ticket of the party to run in the 2019 general elections.
Given the overwhelming support base the APC has in Benue State, we have had a lot of persons coming out to aspire on our.
As at the time of filing this report, some of the party's offices were locked up, but the State Secretary of Social Democratic Party, SDP, said they were yet to collect the data.
And we think we have more aspirants. They are coming, they're on the pipeline. They will surely come.
Because we have a very credible candidate, somebody of proven integrity.
The Presidential Committee on the Implementation of the Transition of Analog to Digital Broadcasting in Nigeria, DigiTeam, is organizing a 3-day training program for broadcast engineers drawn from television stations in the country. The training is aimed at preparing broadcast engineers for an imminent and hitch-free digital switchover. The training will be held in 3 zones as follows: Owerri Zone, 26th and 27th of September, venue, Protel Hotel, Plot H1, Nekede Pocket Layout, New Owerri. Ibadan Zone, 3rd and 4th of October, venue, Marv 21, Adeoyo Junction, Ring Road, Ibadan. Kaduna Zone, 9th and 10th of October, venue, Kini Country Guest Inn, Just Road, Akwanga. Broadcast engineers under the respective zones are invited for the training program. Signed, Chairman, DigiTeam.
Thanks for staying with us. Now, the federal government has directed the Nigerian Immigration Service with immediate effect to put an end to the payment of fines by Nigerians holding dual citizenship at the nation's international airport. The Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazal, who stated this in Abuja, said the directive is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's resolve to make movement easy for Nigerians with dual citizenship to come to their fatherland unhindered. This, the minister noted, is in line with the new government's policy that says on no account should any Nigerian traveller hold a dual citizenship pay fine for a so-called stay. He added that it was a crime to ask or pay any money in that regard, and therefore urged the Nigerian Immigration Service to comply with the directive, as government would sanction an immigration official found wanting. Federal Road Safety Commission is calling all applicants who applied into the Corps to check their emails for update information exercise. A statement by the Corps Public Education Officer, BC Kazim, says applicants who do not receive any information through their emails before the date of the exercise are advised to report to their chosen screening centers with a printed summary data page. It adds that all applicants, irrespective of the cadre applied for, are to come along with their original credentials. The applicants are also reminded to appear in white shirt, white t-shirt, white canvas, and white socks for the screening and physical fitness exercise. The Nigerian Television Authority has reiterated the interest of the present administration to protect all citizens regardless of the state of origin. Executive Director, Admin and Training said this when members of the Association of Nigerians residing outside their state of origin paid a courtesy visit on NTA. Linda Ogidi reports.
Representing the Director General of NTA, Steve Ebo, says NTA always champions national interest and integration in promoting peace and unity in the country.
As Nigerians, we are one. Whether you come from Sokoto State, Abia State, or Osun State, it's something we must at all times work very hard to downplay. As we continue to downplay this and play up our Nigerianness, we will begin to make better progress. The NTA is a place where we de-emphasize where you come from.
The chairman of the association urged all Nigerians to desist from utterances capable of overheating the polity.
Our aims and objectives is to protect the non-indigenous from being harassed, from intimidation, from unfair play. That what come may, wherever they are, we are one Nigeria.
He also advised citizens to support development and peace measures of the present administration. Linda Ogidi, NTA News.
Well, that's all on Nationwide. Thanks for watching. I am Miriam Akbata. Well, Osun Decides studio opens immediately after this. Do stay tuned.